Welcome back to the Graph PowerShell series. In the last video, we connected to Graph and pulled a list of user accounts using PowerShell. But what happens when your tenant has more than 100 users, groups, or devices? In this video, I will explain what pagination is, how Graph API handles it, and how to write a script that automatically collects all pages of data. We will use users for our demo, but the same approach applies to any graph resource, whether you're listing users, groups, teams, devices, messages, or SharePoint files. So most Graph API endpoints return only a limited number of records, which is like 100 items per page. And this is by default done to keep the responses fast and lightweight. But if there are more results in your tenant, for example, you have a lot of data, then Graph adds a field to the response called @o data dot next link. So this next link points to the next page of data. So if you want to retrieve everything, you have to follow that link again and again until there are no more pages left. Let's go to the script and see how the pagination is added to our old script where we were pulling the list of users. So this was the script which we were using in the part 1 of this video, where we were pulling a list of users using graphs. I have updated the script and included the pagination in it. These parts of the script remain same, where we define the tenant ID, client ID, secret. We acquire a token from Microsoft. We define a header for our Graph API calls. But here, where we were getting users from Microsoft 365, we have added a pagination support. So our graph URI remains the same. I have used this variable all users. So it's an array where we will add all the users, which we are fetching from Graph API. Here we are sending a GET request to the current graph URI. We are adding all the values which we are retrieving for the users in the $all users array variable. Then we are checking if there is a @odata.next link in the user's return value. While there is some value there in the odata.next link, which is saved in .graph URI, then it runs the get operation once again and updates that array $all users with the next set of user values. So once this do loop is finished, then we display all the users using this command. So in my demo, I don't have more than 1,000 records, but in your Entra, you have more than 1,000 records. It will show up all of them. So I'm going to run it and show you that it works. So it's showing me all the values. So it is working. So that is how pagination works. So you can use it in any other query you have, any other script, or fetching devices or any other things which are more than 100 in a production environment. Now I'm going to show you how to update user attribute. So if you remember, when we created this API, we give this API permission to read and write to the user. So this script can also write to the users. So let me first of all show you what's the department for these users. So I have updated department here. So for this user, which are blank. So I'm gonna use this script and update a value in the department attribute for all users. Here is the updated code which we will use to update the department value for each user. So this for each loop, this goes through each user object that we previously fetched using the Graph API. $all users is a list of user objects from Microsoft 365. This extracts the unique user sign-in name, which is their user principal name, which we will use next to update that specific users. And this just shows us which user we are updating. So that is just for logging. $update body. So this is important because what we are doing here is that, like, we can create a PowerShell hash table key value pair to set department is equal to dept underscore test. But Microsoft Graph expects data in JSON format, not PowerShell format. So we will use this command convert to JSON to convert this to JSON type. Then this update URI, this is the Microsoft Graph API endpoint for updating a specific user because we are using a $user ID value here. Then we are running the invoke dash rest command, but this time the method is patch, not get. Get is when you are getting or reading some values. Patch tells Graph to update only the fields we specify, and the body is $update body. So this one, which tells like update the department to department underscore test. So try and catch is just if the user update succeeds, then it moves to the next one silently. If it fails, just logs a warning and moves to the next one. Let's run the update and see what happens. Okay, few errors for all the users. So these are only cloud users, so shouldn't be an issue because if these are like on-premise users synced to cloud, then their attributes can only be updated on on-premise. But it's failing for all the users. So let me extend some detailed logging in the script and see why it's failing. I've updated the catch statement to get the detailed errors and let's see what comes up. Okay, I'm missing a block. It must contain the content type header declaration. So we did have content type, but it's looking for content dash type. It's only content type. When we read all the users, like displayed all the properties, then it worked with content type. But while patching, it's looking for content dash type. Let me run this. Yeah, it worked with content type. Let me update it and see what happens. It says it's not valid. There's a red mark. We put it in double quotes. Let me run the first part of the script. It worked, and let me try the second part of the script. Okay, it's working for some users, so and failed for some users, which is fine because some of the users are on-premise synced objects, so obviously it won't work on those users because those are on-premise AD users, so their attributes must be updated there. But the script is working, so it has updated. But let's see if it shows the department attribute, which it is not. Okay, I think I know why it's not showing department. Let me fix this and come back. Let us try to manually run the graph query. So this is a Microsoft Graph Explorer in which I have logged in using my account. And if I try to run the same URL which I'm using in my script to list the users, let's see what we get. I get the list of all the users. And if I look at attributes, I am not getting department as an attribute. So that means department by default doesn't show up, but that does not mean the department is not there because when I open one of the user accounts in Entra and I look at the department field, it's updated. So let's update our script to show the department as well. This is the URL which we will use to list the department. So earlier we were only using up till this part, so it was listing only the default attributes, but here we put the command to show us department as well. So now it shows me departments for the users who are cloud only. For on-premise, obviously it does not show me. Let me update this in the script as well and we will run it from there. Okay, I have updated the script with the new graph URI And let me put a backtick here. Otherwise, dollar is used in PowerShell to define a variable, and select will be considered as a variable. So this backtick is an escape character. And now if I run this, yep, it's working and it's showing me the department test for cloud users. In this video, we learned about how to use pagination, so that if we have more than 100 results using graph, so how we can get all of them. We also learned how to update the objects using graph, the method patch. We also did some troubleshooting. On the way, we saw how the Graph Explorer works, which we used during our troubleshooting. In the next video, I will show you, let's say we have a scenario where we want to email this report or save it on a SharePoint, how we can do that using Graph API from the same script. We will extend this script. I hope you like this video. I will put the link to the part 1 video in the description of this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel.